Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone everybody's at. I've been kind of debating how I've been wanting to make this video for several months since March, but didn't know exactly how to do it. It took me 3 months to figure out how to do this video. This is everything I'm about to say. It's my personal opinion. Under no circumstances am I making it religious, nor am I making any kind of a political statement. It's just personal opinion and personal wishes. One of the first memories I had of my grandfather on my mom's side was that I was about 5 or 6 or 7, maybe. Like I was in first grade or younger. In Tehran, the house that we used to live in, it had windows almost from the ceiling all the way to the floor, or really down, really large windows. And one of the things back then you could see from the window, you could see, this was many years ago, in the 70s. You could fully see all the houses back then in Tehran. You could see all the back of the houses, the roofs. The roofs were totally flat. And by seeing all the roofs, you could see anybody who's on a roof. The way our house was, you could see all the houses going downward. And we used to get up, because my grandparents on my mom's side were both Muslim. We used to get up around right after their prayers, which is not quite, sun is not quite out, but it's musk outside. And so we used to get up like around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was right around time to go to school or get ready for school. At the time we were living, it was me, my sister, my mom, my grandparents, my grandfather and my grandmother. And I was kind of one of those hyper nosy kids when I was a kid. I wish I had the same level of energy now. And we used to go. So I had gotten up and I saw like about 10 or 15, at least 15 guys dressed in all black. And they had some kind of weapons. And I was getting ready to go. Now, all the windows, all the bedrooms and stuff, the living room, they all had these big, huge windows that you could see out. And I didn't know what they were. I just saw a bunch of guys. Never seen them. You know, I'm a kid. And I'm getting ready to step out. And because I'm curious, I couldn't figure out why those guys were there. And my grandfather was also up. And he saw that I'm getting ready to get out of the house, go into the balcony to see what these guys were about. And he grabbed me, my sister, and my grandmother and had us go to a separate area of the house, and got my mom to come up and totally protected us to make sure that we weren't harmed in any way and we were safe. Now, these guys were going after one of the neighbors' homes, and they totally shut out this whole that was down a few doors down from us, or to our right. And that neighbor's house that they were going totally got shut out, and the houses on each side also got fully shut out. And I never forget, and every time I think about this memory, it amazes me how my grandfather, who was in his early 80s at the time, how he's truly protected us. I mean, our house really wasn't in danger, but it could have been. If I had stepped out, I don't know what they would have or wouldn't have done. But I'm amazed to this day, and this is how I judge any men, and also the faith, the Muslim faith, is based on my grandfather. Because what I see is an 80-year-old man who is totally protecting everybody in the household, and totally protecting my mom, my grandmother, and his 2 grandkids from people who had 15 guys. It was my grandfather. So that's how I see him, as someone who was protecting the women in his house. And that's how I see the Muslim faith. And it breaks my heart that to this day, I don't see that being practiced. And I wish it was. If I had one wish, because I looked it up, I wanted to make sure I knew kind of what I was talking about a little bit. So I did look up. And this is how I grew up. What I view as the faith is based on my grandparents. Or my grandfather, based on my grandparents, both of them. Because I used to know when I was a kid, I had memorized all the prayers that you say 5 times a day. And I totally based the faith on them, on the way they practiced it. And it kind of breaks my heart that isn't being practiced in the faith today, that the men in the Muslim faith aren't protecting the women, their sisters, which I am. By law of where I was born, I'm technically a Muslim by faith. By the mere fact of my nationality, I'm technically a Muslim. So if I had one wish as an adult, is that this is when my grandmother died, I asked my uncle to get me this. This is I don't even know if the letters are still readable. This pendant is like 30 years old almost since my grandmother passed. But when my grandmother passed, I asked my uncle to send me a gold pendant where it has the Muslim, it has a prayer from Quran on it. And I wear it every day. It's the only necklace, one of the few things that I wear all the time. And I have it on me all the time in remembrance of my grandmother, because I love her so much. And I wish that today, in 2025, that every Muslim man, if they had the level of faith and the level of bravery that my grandfather had at age 80, every problem in the world would be solved. I know that. I am 100% sure that every problem around the world would be solved today if the men in the faith practiced the same level of faith and bravery as my grandfather did at age 80. And that's my wish. If I had one and it could come true, that would be my wish. Have a wonderful day. Again, I'm not making any kind of a religious statement. I'm not making any kind of a political statement. This is just personal wishes. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everybody.